Hi, everybody. This is 8.8, page 984. Try it, 8.163. It's a uniform motion problem. Dennis went cross-country skiing for 6 hours on Saturday. He skied 20 miles uphill, 20 miles back downhill, returning to his starting point. His uphill speed was 5 miles per hour slower than his downhill speed. That means downhill speed is our independent variable. That's R. So R will be our variable for speed. Uphill speed was 5 miles slower, R minus 5. And with this information, what was Dennis's speed going uphill and his speed going downhill? Okay, well, we know the distance is fixed, 20 miles each way. We have one more piece of information. We know that his total for time was 6 hours. And we know that time is distance divided by rate. So uphill, 20 divided by r minus 5. And downhill, we have 20 divided by r. And we have enough to make an equation now. So we have 20 divided by r minus 5 plus 20 divided by r. His uphill plus his downhill is going to give us his total time, 6 hours. All right. Let's go ahead and fraction bust using the LCD, which in this case is r times r minus 5. We're ready. R divided by r minus 5 goes to 1. That just leaves us variable r times 20. This r divided by r goes to 1, leaving us r minus 5 times 20. And on the right side, we have 6 times r squared minus 5r. 6r squared minus 30r. Let's distribute the left side. 20r minus 100. That's an r. Bring down 20r plus. Oh, good. We can combine some things there. So 20r plus 20r gives us a 40r minus 100 equals 6r squared minus 30r. It's a quadratic. So let's set everything equal to 0. Zero equals 6r squared minus 70r plus 100. Let's go ahead and divide everything by a 2, make it more manageable. 0 equals 3r squared minus 35r plus 50. So we need to find factors of 150r squared. Do that side work over here. Factors of 150r squared that will sum to negative 35. About 5 and 30? 5 and 30 make a positive 150. And if we make that a negative 5 and a negative 30, the product is positive and the sum is negative, which is exactly what we need. So let's factor by grouping. One of our factors is negative 5r, the other is negative 30r. And remember, when we factor by grouping, pick a different color here, we're going to replace that negative 35r with negative 5r and negative 30r. So we have a 3r squared minus a 30r plus a 50 minus a 5r. All right, so I'm going to take out a 3r, which leaves me an r minus 10. So if it's factorable, we should be able to mirror that r minus 10. And let's do minus a 5, which leaves us an r minus 10. And how did I get that? Negative 5 times r is negative 5r. Negative 5 times negative 10 is a positive 50. And the good news is we have a mapped or a mirrored r minus 10. So factor by grouping says, all right, go ahead and put together your coefficients on each side. So I've got a 3r minus a 5 is one of my binomials. R minus 10 is the other. Set it equal to 0 and solve using zero product property. 3 minus 10 equals 0. Therefore, r equals 10. 3r minus 5 equals 0. 3r equals 5. Divided by 3, r equals 5/3, or r equals 10. We'll need to discard that 5/3 because if you remember the uphill, let me move this up, the uphill term for rate was r minus 5. And if we slip a 5/3 there, we'll have a negative value. 5/3 minus 5 is negative, so that's not going to be a possibility as far as a solution goes. But 10 is a real possibility, and that ends up being our solution. So the rate downhill for Dennis is 10 miles per hour, and the rate uphill for Dennis is 5 miles per hour. And I'll leave you to justify that even more fully.